Hi there.
Hi!
Hi, welcome to another Wheelingit Campground review. We're at Skidaway Island State Park in Georgia, actually 9 miles, about 9 miles southeast of Savannah. I'm sure you've heard of Savannah, Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. Great book, great movie, highly recommend it. Kind of get you in the mood for Savannah. Lovely, historic southern town, the ton
Lovely.
of history, a ton of charm. And it's laid out just brilliantly, though. The parks, the squares,
The
the
squares.
live oak and Spanish moss lined streets, great food, great restaurants, great town to spend some time in.
And there's also a lighthouse
Oh
here.
yeah, that's true.
Tybee Island Light, which is it's about I think 40 minutes from the park, and
Yeah,
it is Georgia's oldest and tallest lighthouse. So for those lighthouse nutters out there, you got to go see that.
yeah, and very well preserved. It's
Right.
really worth seeing the grounds.
And the park. The park is lovely. Skidaway Island. We'd heard lots of good from other people about this park. It's a really forested, quiet park. The sites are big and nicely separated.
Very
It's got a
quiet.
very natural feel. It's got tons of hiking, biking trails, which we've really enjoyed. And yeah, it's just really nice and peaceful and relaxing. We'll take you in,
Yeah,
and you can see what it looks like.
let's go have a look. Okay, this is the entrance to the campground. You can see a nice wide road. Lots of trees, but lots of clearance cut. So there's no problem driving in and out here at all. I'll just bike you to the entrance to the park office and check in. And here's the park office and camper registration. They rent bikes here as well. So you stop here, check in, easy to get out.
Okay, we're standing at the check-in. It's just a little way down from the main entrance. You just kind of pull in here and you check in at the office here to the left of me. Now, the way it works in Georgia State Parks, and this is no different from any other Georgia State Park, is that you actually don't reserve a specific site. What you do is you reserve a spot. Either in this case, you reserve either an electric site, or a full hookup site, or an ADA accessible site. And then once you get here, you check in. You have to pay $5 for a parking pass. That's just a one-time fee unless you have a Georgia State Parks pass. And then you go in and you find your site, and you just choose from one of the open available sites in the campgrounds. So that's how it works here. And there's a little bit, for big rigs in this particular campground, there's a little bit of stuff to watch for. So I'm going to show you that on the campground map. So here we go. Here's the campground map. And the different colorings here, basically the yellow, these are the full hookup sites, and they cost $49 a night. And then these other sites here, the blue ones are 50 amp, the red ones are 30 amp, and they cost $40 a night. Now, one thing to be aware of for big rigs, all these sites are huge, the full hookup sites, and this particular road right here that goes through the middle is also huge. So if you're worried about weaving in and out of trees, then just go down this side here, and if you book a full hookup site, you'll be able to get easy in, easy out. All these roads along the side do have trees, and there is a bit of weaving involved to get through them. So, if you're really big and you're a little bit worried about that's just something to keep in mind. Also, the 50 amp sites, like for example these ones, this is where we're parked, and down here are quite large and easy to get into. Whereas some of the 30 amp sites, especially in this area, camping area 4, these are a little narrower. Also, another thing to be aware of is that all these little roads here, they're all two-way. We found that a little odd when we came here because honestly, if we were going one way and a big rig was coming the other way, there's no way we could get out of each other's way. But that's just another thing to be aware of. Again, this central line here, this is very wide. You'd have no problem driving there. This is also quite wide. You'd have no problem driving there. So that's really an overview of the campground.
Okay, now we're leaving the check-in and headed towards the campground. Sometimes girls here is checking the park passes, but usually not. Take it right here into the campground section. And one more right, and you're in the campground. And we stopped over here on the right hand side to unhook, or you can drive into the loops. It's doable. There's some tight loops as you'll see in Nina's bike through, but it's not too bad. All right, we're standing in site number 34. It's one of the 17 full hookup sites. There's a row here off the main road of pull-through full hookup sites, and as you can see, this site 34, like the other ones, is a massive, I don't know, I estimate maybe 80 feet, 80-foot site, quite wide, gravel. It's got 50 amps. It's got a dual water spigot. It's got a picnic table, and it's got a fire pit. And you got a combination of some sun here and some really nice shade of live oaks and Spanish moss, like this whole campground. This is a very easily accessible site if you're a big rig and you want full hookups.
And I'll just do a quick pan here like I usually do. This is looking down the row of full hookups down here. These are all full hookup sites. You can see there's lots of shade everywhere. This is camping section 2 in case you're wondering. And then I'm going to pan around here too. These are some of the just water electric sites that are down here on the right. A lot of them are kind of pull-ins or pull-throughs, and that's looking back at the other side.
All right, we're standing in our site. We're site number 70 towards the back of the campground. It's a pull-through. It's a 50 amp water electric site. Picnic table, fire pit, dual water spigot, no sewer. But actually, like a lot of the other sites, this campground has cable TV. So it has about, I would say about 12 channels, the networks, and they even got ESPN, FX, and it works at our site. I don't know if it works at every site. That can be a problem at cable at state parks, but it works pretty well, and it's quite nice to have.
So I'll just do a quick panorama here so you can see how absolutely enormous our site is. This is still us, 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 and there's the guy behind us. So you can see it's pretty big, and I'll just walk back here so you can also see this is our sitting area, which is also equally enormous, and we do have a cat at our site. And look at this, that's our huge elevated sitting area. And all this is greenery on this backside, so we actually have no one to this side of us at all. It's really, really lovely site. We have totally enjoyed staying here. So we're standing at the facilities here. There's, I think, 2 or 3 of these buildings in kind of each camping area. And yeah, they were great. I mean, the nice, large individual shower stalls with a bench and hooks for your clothes and stuff like that. Good water pressure, good water temperature, and washing machines, which is always a bonus in a state park. So there's a little laundromat in here. In this particular facility, I think there were 2 machines, 2 washers, 2 dryers, and the other ones I think we saw 1. They're $1.25, so they're very reasonable, and yeah, it was good. Quick clip of the dump station. This down here, this is the kind of main road through the campground. The the big pull-through sites are on, full hookup pull-through sites are on the left, and this is the dump station on the right. You just kind of pull in, pull out. There's also garbage in the background. So yeah, super easy. So we're going to do our traditional bike through. This road, this is kind of the main road through the middle of the campground. Nice big wide 2-lane road. But we're actually going to go to the right here and start at camping area number 1. The roads off the main road are a bit narrower. So that's just something to be aware of if you're a big rig and you're not used to driving slightly narrow roads. You can see some of the first campsites here. That's campsite number 1 on the right. Nice big pull through. These are all 50 amp on this side. This is a very nice, easy area to get into. Campsite area 1. And then we're going to go down the other side of the road here. And like I mentioned before, these are 2-lane roads. So just be aware of traffic as you're driving down here with your rig. And we'll probably end up speeding up a little bit here so you can see all the campsites as they go. We just arrived at camping area number 3. This is where we are camped. I believe this is sites 66 through 87 or so. And these are all pull-throughs again, a mix of 30 amp and 50 amp. We are in one of the 50 amp sites, so again, I'll take you through this little section. This is the beginning of camping section number 4. This is sites 53 through 65. I would say this area is kind of the more forested section of the campground. It's all 30 amp sites, and it is a little bit weavier and, you know, more trees in the way here. So I would say this probably isn't the best area for big rigs, but a great area for slightly smaller rigs. Lots of really nice sites here. This is the last section of the campground, camping area 2. This is where pretty much all the full hookup sites are. Most of them, there are a few back-in sites, like this one on my right. But on the left here, these are all pull-throughs, and they're all pulling off this huge main road in the middle, which is two-way and easily accessible. And you can see all the enormous full hookup sites on my left here. Lots of good separation. Any size rig can get in here. So very, very nice campsites indeed. And that takes us right back to the beginning. So hope you enjoyed the bike through.
All right, that concludes the review of Skidaway Island State Park. We're standing on one of the lovely trails. Yeah, it's about 1.5 miles. There's a bunch of them around here.
Yeah, we've been using them every day, basically either for walking the dog or for biking or for both. So it's been nice. And yeah, we've totally enjoyed our stay here. We really enjoyed Savannah.
Yeah,
actually
great
more
little
than we
town.
even thought we would. And we loved the lighthouse, and we really liked the park, and nice and relaxed and quiet. So it's a thumbs up for us.
Yeah, come check it out.
Yeah, so see you down the road.